time for the Patriots to mount up, mount up. It's time for the Patriots to mount up, mount up. Patriots, mount up. Let's monitor the politics, give them all the realness. Everything transparent so the people feel this. Government officials, we gon' challenge all your bullish. Lying to the people in the world, let's expose this.
Patriots, mount up. Hello, Salty Dogs. Welcome to the Salty Sailor Nation Live. I'm your honored but humble host, the Salty Sailor, talking to you live from my bunker in sunny AZ. It is February 25th, 2021, 7 o'clock on the dot of a new patriotic republic. Salty Dog Nation, thank you for tuning in to today's show. We have a lot to discuss. Please don't forget to like and share today's podcast to friends or family. Any support or help would be much appreciated, Salty Dogs. Again, they don't eat big fish, so we can put it that way, right? It is now episode 19. Breaking exclusive news happening out right now. Police lieutenant who shot and killed Ashley Babbitt, the former, she was an Air Force vet, lead murder suspect in Ashley Babbitt case. So, obviously, right? On January 6, 2021, Ashley Babbitt was executed by a Capitol police officer who seemed to hold no restraint. 50 days later, the Capitol police officer responsible has been identified in photos before and during the shooting. The police lieutenant's name is being withheld from Ashley Babbitt's attorneys. The question I have is why? He also told investigators he heard reports that pipe bombs have been found elsewhere in the area, worried that rioters might be carrying explosives. Babbitt was wearing a backpack, which allegedly compounded his fears. The lieutenant also said he believed his own life was in danger, and it's not clear why he decided to stand his ground rather than retreat and seek out reinforcements. Well-armed Secret Service agents were standing guard nearby in the House chamber. The officer, according to his account, could not see three uniformed officers outside and did not know they were there. He only decided seeing a hallway full of oncoming people. The three officers had no visible shields or riot gear. Two of them were not even wearing hats. According to the lieutenant's account, he did not know who among the rioters, if anyone, was armed, nor could he see how far down the hall the crowd extended. The lieutenant was also unaware. Those briefed on his account said that the tactical team from Capitol Police was climbing the stairwell behind Mrs. Babbitt, intending to reinforce the area and clear out rioters. As the team arrived, one of the three officers standing guard gave the word, "They're ready to roll." Again, a lot of concerning factors involved here. First of all, if you see the pictures, I did post the pictures online. The dude is, first of all, for any person that's held an armed weapon and have done some sort of tactical training, does not look like he's doing a very tactical situation. Let's put it that way. So again, don't know if this guy was a plant. Don't know who he is. Strangely, he's disappeared because, of course, there's no investigation into him because our FBI sucks. So then again, who knows, right? Who knows? Anyway, moving on to the next bit of news. Stunning. Joe Biden, or whatever his name is, holds a presser on COVID vaccine. Guess how many people actually watched it? 669 are watching. Again, if you really turn that other 9 around, kind of odd, right? It says 669. Just saying. Leave it up to interpretation for those people in the back. But this guy got 81 million votes, but he only had 669 people watching. Go figure that one. Joe Biden held a press conference on Thursday celebrating his 50 millionth COVID vaccine shot in the United States, thanks to Donald Trump. Biden held the event in D.C. and broadcast it on the White House YouTube page. Again, like I've stated, 669 people were watching. There was 3,800 down votes and only 209 up votes on the video. Okay. So basically there was 3,800 down votes, in other words, thumbs down, and only 209 up votes on the video. Wow. And they believe, still, in earnest, this guy got 81 million votes. These people are really demons. Truth means nothing to these people. Again, as you can see, look at the numbers, 669. Just saying. Moving on. U.S. police. Okay, this one really got me, I don't know, salty. U.S. Capitol Police Chief Yoganda Pittman says militant groups want to blow up the Capitol when Biden delivers the State of the Union address. Basically, they fear people. U.S. Capitol Police Chief blah 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 testified on Thursday that militant groups want to blow up the U.S. Capitol, kill as many people as possible when Joe Biden delivers his State of the Union address, according to her. We know that militant groups that were present on January 6th have stated their denies that they want to blow up the Capitol and kill as many members as possible with direct nexus to the State of the Union, which we now know that the date has not been identified. Hello, and I'll get into that in a second. So based on the information, we think it's prudent that the Capitol Police maintains its enhanced and robust security posture until we address those vulnerabilities moving forward. Okay, let me just break this down for you people. It's optics, people. Because they've been getting crap that there's still the National Guard having a fence around the Capitol building, and they're worried about stopping the border wall because of illegal crossings. But yet there's a fence around the Capitol. So they have to maintain some sort of drama. So that way, optically, everyone thinks, oh, okay, oh, that makes sense. But in reality, we're in a police state because it shows, right? Secondarily, this is also a setup to the setup to the setup. If you look at it from the tea leaves, or if you're a smart, intelligent person, the reason why that they're doing this now, oh, mind you, by the way, this acting chief or whatever she is, has no proof of this, but just made it up, right? But anyway, let's backtrack to my statement. The reason why they're doing this, and this is setting it up for the stage of the 25th Amendment for Kamala, Vanilla, blah, the Thrilla and non-Manila. They're pushing this because they're going to use the 25th Amendment. The reason why they don't want Biden to do the State of the Union address, as many presidents have done throughout history, is because it's a 2-hour speech, right? Biden can't even hold a freaking conversation for more than 20 minutes before wandering off an Uncle Bernie weekend. So, of course, optically, they can't put him out there for 2 hours. So how do they lay the seeds or plant the seeds? It's sales 101, guys. They're planting the seeds. Basically saying, oh, there's still more violence. We may not be able to hold a State of the Union address because they know damn well that typically State of the Union addresses happen in March, right? And they're 2 hours long. If you look, I have another story based on Biden. You see him shuffling away, looking all like he's a lost senior citizen in a silver alert and wanting DPS to come rescue him. If you look at it properly, he doesn't know where he is. His dementia is slowly going more and worse and worse and worse. As according to the reason why they don't want him to have the nuclear codes. This is already happening. So she's setting the stage for the 25th Amendment. And pretty soon, probably very soon, you're going to see Nancy freaking sarcastic weirdo, oh, there's so many words I want to call her, Pelosi come out and start enacting the 25th Amendment on Biden, which is what they've wanted all along. This is just a step in the process. If you guys don't see this, I don't know what to tell you, but it's literally right in front of your face. It can't even be more clear. They can't even hide it anymore. Oh, the rant has ceased. Moving on. Here's the other part I said. I put this on my Facebook page. You can clearly look at the little excerpt down below on Twitter that shows the dude shuffling off like he's lost his sense of direction. Biden shuffles away from podium after COVID presser while his handlers shoo away Fox News Peter, I'm going to butcher this, Ducci, whatever. Joe Biden delivered remarks on Thursday touting the 50 millionth COVID-19 vaccine shot, thanks to President Trump's Operation Warp Speed. Virtually no one tuned in to see Dementia Joe speak, which I mentioned earlier. 669 people watched Biden mumble through prepared remarks. Okay, 669, again, turn the 9 upside down. What do you got? Just saying. Biden shuffled away from the lectern after he finished his speech and, as usual, refused to answer questions from the press. Why, people? Why can he not answer legit questions from the press? Why does his handlers lead him around like he has no sense of direction, doesn't know what he's saying, what he's doing? This guy is eroding right right in front of us. You see the police state with the gates around the Capitol. You see this guy that doesn't know right from left. You see Kamala prepping herself, calling freaking foreign dignitaries to promote the United States. She wasn't even duly elected. In fact, it was a farce from the beginning. You're all starting to see this right before step right in front of you, and you guys still deny it. It drives me absolutely nuts. Common sense, people. Wake the hell up. Hello. Then, while he shuffles away, the reporters are yelling at him, asking, obviously he completely ignored them because it wasn't on a teleprompter, or I don't know if they're shocking the poor guy, but from Fox News, he asked, he said, what happened to the $2,000 checks that would go out the door immediately if Democrats won the Senate? Lie again. This has not happened, right? Because they have to add all their little stuff into it, right? More for foreign people and not for Americans. It's clearly in there. Read it, people. Biden's handlers called Ducey, whatever his name is, by his name and shoot him away. Go figure. Moving on into more news. Child abuse. Wenatchee High School, okay, I don't know where the heck this is, so bear with me, forces kids in band, okay, to play in bubbles. Parents do nothing. So, I don't know if you see this picture. I didn't really post it on my page because I just thought it was stupid. And at first I thought it was a joke or Photoshop, but it's legit. Look on the Gateway Pundit if you want to go look. I just don't have a million of hours in my day or nighttime to actually post all of this stuff. But it's on Gateway Pundit. Look it up. Wenatchee High School forces kids to play. They were literally in a freaking bubble like an ET. And parents did nothing. If you were a parent and you had some cojones, wouldn't you say, oh, hell no, and demand my kid not be locked in a bubble? What are they, freaking space cadets for Space Force? What the flying hell is going on, people? Wake up! God! Moving on. Pelosi's, here we go, $1.9 trillion COVID bill includes up to $21,000 bonus for federal workers whose kids or family members have been impacted by the virus. Okay, let me rephrase this again, or maybe just tone it down or slow it down for the people in the back. Pelosi's $1.9 trillion COVID bill, which we're all going to have to pay for, by the way, includes up to $21,000 bonus for federal workers whose kids or family members have been impacted by the virus. Okay, here's the clue. We're only getting $4,000. So, I mean, I don't know if this is common math, common core math, simple math, but 21,000, 4,000. 21, 4. So I'm thinking, if I was, I don't know, had some sort of a brain, 21,000 for federal workers, which I'm thinking, just a thought, I'm guessing it includes Senate, Congress, and all the elected officials, including the staffers. They get all this $21,000, right? When we get the scraps of 4,000, if that. Oh no, I'm sorry. I mistakenly said 4,000. I'm sorry, $1,400. Damn it! Why did $1,400? I thought they would actually be nice, but we're only getting $1,400. They're all getting 21,000. Is this not saying something to you guys? Like legitimately, 1,400. Okay. Meanwhile, everyone and their mom is getting a bonus if they work for the government, but not, I don't know, the taxpayers that are going to ultimately pay for it. So that's just part of it, right? So gives average Americans. Okay, this was on the wish list of the Democrats, which, if you saw earlier, it was posted, and had 293 things in the freaking bill, which 293 shouldn't be in there. It's a COVID bill, not the freaking, I don't know, restructure of America, but it's a COVID bill, which means it's only for COVID, right, in theory. But there was 253 something things in this bill. The Democrats allowed the Republicans to have 4 of them. 4 of them out of 253. And one of the things in the bill that was in there was this $21,000 bonus. Okay. This is exactly what happens in Marxist, socialist, communist hellholes. Government workers get the goodies as the rest of society suffers. This is not all of these coming from Conservative Report as well. Forbes reported The U.S. House version of the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, a $1.9 trillion emergency aid package to help America recover from the coronavirus, not opening restaurants, not letting everyone go back to work to support their families, not anything. We're just waiting for the government to give us a handout instead of actually going back to work as Americans, right? Has an extra perk for those federal workers. Enhanced paid time off. If your child is enrolled in a school that isn't back to full-time in the classroom instructions, critics call it a personal bailout for bureaucrats. It is funded through a new $570 million family leave account exclusively for federal workers. This is in the bill, by the way. While millions of parents struggle to work from home with kids who are enrolled in shuttered or partially shuttered schools, and millions more are left for the workforce or lost jobs to care for their at-home children, evidently parents in the federal bureaucracy need their own personal COVID-19 bailout. Under the bill, as currently drafted, full-time federal employees can take up to 600 hours in paid leave until September 30th, up to $35 an hour or $1,400 a week. That's 15 weeks for the 40-hour employee. Part-time and seasonal employees, this is the best part, are eligible too, with the equivalent hours established by their agency. But yet, the American worker can't go back to work because of all these COVID restrictions, right? Because the federal government says it's too dangerous, okay? Then on top of it, we only get $1,400. $21,100. Do we see something wrong there? Wake up! Moving on. Exclusive. New York Governor Cuomo harassed a woman in his office. Shocking. Had an affair with a married woman for months as well. So not only did he kill a bunch of senior citizens, should go to prison, should get the death penalty in my opinion, but also sexually assaulted one of his staff members who's now come out since then. Had an affair with a married woman who has also come out now. It looks like Senator Cuomo's starting to circle the Drano hole. Looks like he might actually go to prison. And his little brother Fredo over there at CNN that always promotes him, looks like he may go down too. Oh, boo-hoo. Moving on. It begins. This is how we're going now, ladies and gentlemen, thanks to the fake Biden presidency in its office. And some people actually voted for him. St. Joseph University professor suspended after tweeting out against reparations for slavery that ended 156 years ago. Again, St. Joseph University professor suspended after tweeting out against reparations for slavery that ended 156 years ago. I don't even know where to go with that one. I won't even comment on that one. I don't even know. The fact that that even happened, because again, if someone, God forbid, has a different opinion than the freaking targeted left, God forbid, you're fired. See Gina Carano, whatever her name is, from The Mandalorian. She got fired. See all this cancel culture that's going on? This is the start of it, people. This is how freaking the Nazis took over and Hitler took over Germany. It's happening right in front of you. Moving on. This is even more interesting news. And I reported this, I think, 2 episodes ago or 2 shows ago. Officer Sicknick's mom, that's the Capitol Police officer who unfortunately lost his life during the Capitol riot, refuses to allow leftist media the spin that no one seems to believe to George Floyd, her son. They're trying to spin it as a George Floyd situation. And she said, oh, hell no, basically, just summarizing for her. He was not beaten with a fire extinguisher per previous reports. We think he had a stroke. Here's the best part. So the media and the police, and of course all them talking it up, the Democrats, specifically Pelosi and her frickin' powers that be. If you saw the frickin' funeral, unfortunately he lost his life completely, 100%. Think he should be honored. However, you should have seen the frickin' the pandering that the Democrats did, kneeling on one knee, making sure they face the camera so everyone can see their stupid, ugly face. That's where we're at as a society, people. But then, the best part, the media was saying, oh yeah, he got killed by a freaking Trump supporter with a fire extinguisher. They bashed in his head. They killed him with a fire extinguisher. Because, you know, Trump people, there's white supremacists. They're pushing this huge narrative, right? What turned out to actually happen is, wait for it, when they did the I don't know, the what's those guys called, the MEs that go and actually not only do the cause of death but also investigate his body parts and see what happened to him. Okay, he didn't die from a fire extinguisher. In fact, even his family thinks that he died from inhaling the pepper spray that was going on throughout the crowd, when they were spraying, like, try to get the crowd back. Here's the funny thing. So the media was reporting that not only did he die and get his head bashed in by a Trump supporter, which supposedly they never found the guy that did it, nor the fire, nor the evidence. Like, I don't know, a fire extinguisher. If you get bashed in the head with a fire extinguisher, I'm pretty sure there would be some evidence on that. Just a guess, but they can't find the fire extinguisher, and they can't arrest the person that did it with all the video that was going on. Strangely, he's missing. Okay, moving on from that. Then on top of it, which really crushes the Democrat and the media's narrative. Hold on, I'm scrolling down because this is the best part. So not only, okay, blah, blah, blah. Oh. Law enforcement officials now tell CNN that there was no fire extinguisher blow, no bloody gash, no blunt force trauma to his body when he died. Not only that, but it was increasingly unclear when and where and if the cop was even rushed to the hospital. As it turns out, strangely enough, multiple hours after the protest has already concluded, the cop texted his own brother that very night. He's saying he was basically fine other than being pepper sprayed twice, confirming he was safe and in good shape. So texts show he wasn't even dead or severely injured like the Democrats nor the media reported, yet despite any evidence of truth whatsoever, the media and the politicians were telling America that the evil Trump insurrectionists had murdered a police officer. Are you guys not freaking seeing this yet? This is an agitation propaganda, which is a common tactic of provocateurs aiming to enrage and divide people into unrest. But the lie continues. Then an odd thing happened. The next day, Schnick's family began getting phone calls that the officer had been declared dead. The phone calls didn't come from the hospital. They came from the treating physicians. They didn't even come from the U.S. Capitol Police, the FBI, or the DOJ. They came from media reporters. Certain privileged media personnel was evidently the first to receive sensitive information, HIPAA, circulating among law enforcement officials that Brian Schick was dead. But then it gets stranger. He wasn't even dead yet. He wasn't even dead yet. For some reason, reporters were informed of the death of an officer before his own family, and then it turned out he wasn't even dead at the time. 1 hour later, as Schnick's family rushed to the hospital to see what they believe was their beloved Brian still fighting for his life, the U.S. Capitol Police issued a further statement, now saying he was dead. But even that statement contained a curious detail. The cop had been told his brother collapsed inside the Capitol building. His brother had been told his brother collapsed inside the Capitol building, then was rushed to the hospital. Wikipedia's entry on Schick still had this as an official story, but the U.S. Capitol Police statement that night told a different story. He returned to his office at the police division first. Sometime between being fine and healthy back in his office on Wednesday night, or dead or effectively dead on early Thursday evening, Schick apparently suffered a stroke. The sequence of when and how that happened should be the easiest part of the story to put to bed. But yet, we're being told to take this on faith, or as the media likes to say, without evidence. But wait, there's more. As we near March, the death unfortunately of police officer Schnick is still shrouded in mystery, and like George Floyd before him, he became almost mythical political martyr, without ever knowing it. Revolver News did an amazing extensive report on this 2 weeks ago, which details the countless inconsistencies, narratives, and lies that have plagued the reporting on this matter since January 6th. Again, I already read some of it about seeing them telling CNN, no fire extinguisher blow, no blunt force trauma, basically. He wasn't rushed to the hospital, and he basically died a day or so after the fact that he was declared dead. Interesting enough. I don't think I need any more time on that. You guys get the gist of it. If you don't, I can't help you. Maybe take ginkgo. Maybe that'll help. I don't know, but hopefully. We'll see. Citizens Unite unveils campaign to fight back against Biden. It's a conservative nonprofit group has revealed a new campaign to fight against President Joe Biden and his legislative agenda, which there's really not a legislative agenda. He's just a dictator. And to promote former President Trump's policies, Fox News reports. David Bosey, the president of the Citizens United, told the network that StopBidenAgenda.com is their new attempt to fight back against the administration. He said that Biden did not receive a mandate to impose this radical agenda on America, and we won't let him undo the successful America First policies of Donald Trump without a fight. I have something else later on that shows this. He added, since the never Trump resistant warriors and fake news liberal media refuse to cover how the Biden administration's radical liberal agenda will impact the lives of everyday Americans, we decided to launch a project to educate American people. According to Bosey, the media covers Biden's early bedtime and cozy fires in the Oval Office and how he plays video games with his grandchildren. Two sets of rules. Trump never got this type of coverage. I hope we would all agree that the coverage of the media, whether you're on the right or left, is a hell of a lot different than Trump got. I'm just saying. It's right in front of you. He also said that one major technology companies have ended the moratorium on political ads. We will be the fight out of the gate with Google, Facebook, and online ad campaigns. The project is part of our overall effort to defeat the Biden agenda and will include TV and radio ads campaigns as warranted. I have I have a couple things, but I'm going to rush through this. I'm going to try because I know we're running out of time. President Joe Biden, or Dementia Joe, told world leaders at G7 Summit Friday that the America First diplomacy was over, according to the New York Times. This ideal was pushed heavily by former President Trump. Again, let me reread that for the people in the back. Joe Biden, I'm not even going to say president after this statement with what he just said, told world leaders at the G7 Summit, I hope they had nap breaks, that America First diplomacy was over. Why is that, Joe? Because you have China and Russia in your back pocket, you idiot. Moving on. Biden has swiftly dismantled Trump's foreign policy agenda due to executive orders, which saw the U.S. withdraw from the World Health Organization, the Paris Climate Accord, and the Iran nuclear deal, which Trump believed were against the nation's interests. However, Biden has reinstated them due to his executive orders. The New York Post, in declaring America First dead, Biden claimed America was back in the process. America's back. The transatlantic alliance is back, Biden told world leaders. We must demonstrate that democracies can still deliver for our people in this changed world. This is our galvanizing mission. Democracy doesn't happen by accident. We have to defend it, strengthen it, and renew it. No, we're renewing your pockets, you frickin' retard. Biden did tell the leaders he planned on donating $4 billion of our dollars for global COVID-19 vaccination efforts. What I want to see is a return on investment on that. Are the other countries involved in donating that amount as well? Because I think if all the countries did it, other than just us, maybe something gets done. Just a thought. Former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo blasted Biden in his efforts to reverse Trump policy, saying the U.S. can't afford 8 more years of Barack Obama's foreign policy because he was a criminal as well. When he says back, when America is back, does he mean back letting China walk all over us, destroying millions of jobs in the places like Kansas and South Carolina that we know so well? It's happening. Pompeo asked, according to the New York Post, I hope that's not what he means by back. Biden told the world leaders that the world is facing a debate on whether to be led by democracy or autocracy. Okay, let me just define that. Socialism. Let's be real. We're in the midst of a fundamental debate about the future direction of the world, Biden said. According to the Associated Press, he added that this debate is between those who argue that given all the challenges we face from the fourth industrial revolution to a global pandemic, autocracy is the best way forward, and those who understand that democracy is essential to meeting those challenges. In other words, putting their agenda first, which is not America first, per what he just said. It's written right there in quotes. So essentially, what it is the Marxist principle. If you if you listen to last show, I go into detail the 4 steps. I also posted it for you guys to read through it because it's not just me saying it. So realistically, he's telling you right in that quote what they're doing. One of you, hopefully, at least one person will get this. Maybe. Moving on to interesting more news. California bill would fine retailers $1,000 for having boy and girl departments. Let me read that again. California bill would fine retailers $1,000 for having a boy and girl department. Now, we've survived. I mean, I've been around for 43 years, soon to be 44 years. I never had an issue with a boy and girl department, ever. But California is instituting this, and you get fined $1,000 for being a retailer. Kids in cages, as it was really pronounced in the Trump campaign, right? Or migrant facility children, kids in cages was the marching cry of AOC and all the Democratic Party when Trump was in office. Mind you, if they did their history, it was Obama and Biden that built those cages, and that's been proven. But anyway, moving on. Instead of calling it kids in cages, which Biden is still doing, by the way, newsflash, to call it migrant facility for children. That's their spin. So it goes for kids in cages to migrant facility for children. The Washington Post changes descriptor for Biden. Why is that, folks? Don't know. To make it sweeter and softer. Salty Sailor's final thoughts. I think I've said enough today. If you guys cannot see what's in front of you, I don't know what to tell you. I weep for the future. The fact that you're going to have kids, I don't know, middle school and elementary school, that are going to think it's non-normal not to wear a mask, guys. This is where it's going. You guys, they're implementing their plan right now in front of us, and it's our kids that are going to suffer, and you're going to see that. A lot of these kids don't know anything different. They're used to the mask now. This is part of the plan. Read that 4-part Marxist plan that I posted on Facebook. Please, and you'll see everything you need to see in that. I'm just saying. Moving on to the daily question. What is the bet that we are going to start seeing $4 gas because of Biden's policies and the killing of the Keystone Pipeline? What would you say? I want anyone that can email me, please. I'm curious to see the range of answers that y'all come up with, the 2 or 3 people that follow and watch this program. What is the bet on $4 gas? Is it going to be next month? Is it going to be June? When? I would like to see that email to me via my email, and I'll give you that address in a second because I'm really curious of what your thoughts are. I'm personally going to say it's in March next month, or maybe April on a bad day. We'll see what happens. Please like and share or follow me on Facebook, YouTube, Freedom Social Network, Telegram, Rumble, or Parler, Instagram, etc. All of those except one are obviously a conservative site. But again, I am all on there. Please follow me, help support me. I would much appreciate it. Please share me to your friends or family. Again, help the small guy out. Avoid the corruption and me getting off of air because of a different agenda, according to FB and all those guys. So anyway, for those fact checkers, again, this is all my opinion based on the articles I read and pull up, which is free to everybody. It's my interpretation of them and strictly my opinion. Feel free to message me for any show and tell or any ideas at saltysailor@saltysailornation.com. Again, that's saltysailor@saltysailornation.com. In conclusion, this show, as always, as you know by now, my famous line, is dedicated to all first responders and essential employees. You all deserve a shout out for the good job you've done. To all my brothers and sisters, both past and present, both here and abroad, stay frosty. I forgot my own line. Thank you, Salty Dogs, for listening. Keep the faith, Salty Dogs. Hold the line. The Salty Sailor. Peace out.
It's time for them patriots to mount up, mount up. It's time for them patriots to mount up, mount up. Patriots, mount up. Let's monitor the politics, give them all the realness. Everything transparent so the people feel this. Government officials, we gon' challenge all your bullish. Lying to the people